Okay, so how do you even decorate that cake? This is the question I would always ask myself whenever I saw a novelty cake pan like this. Well, thanks to my niece Kennedy, who loves horses, I decided to take on the challenge. Okay, the first step, as we do for each cake, is to prep the pan. And I'm adding that instruction because I always used to forget this part of the process. So now I use the Pam Perfect Release Spray, and my cakes always pop right out when I use it. So add your batter and then give the pan a few taps to get out any air bubbles, and then pop it in an oven that's been preheated to 325 degrees for about 20 minutes. And while that's baking, let's prep our piping bags. First, we've got 2 bags with tip 3 in white and pink. Then we've got 1 bag with tip 12 in purple, 1 in pink with tip 32, 1 in pink with tip 1M, and the last one in white with tip 18. To decorate this horse cake, I purchased a pack of 13 by 19 inch rectangular cake boards, which is completely optional. You can certainly decorate it on a large serving tray or a cutting board if you'd prefer that. Wilton has a really great decorating guide to use, and it details the order of each decorating step. So to start off, I'm using tip number 3 in pink to outline and fill in the ears. And here I'm using a palette knife, which is actually my butter spreader, to smooth out the buttercream. Now grab the tip 3 in white for the nostrils and the eyes. And as I decorate, I keep looking back to the photo of the decorated cake that's on Wilton.com, just for reference on where to pipe each part. And for the eyes, instead of using the blue buttercream, I'm applying blue sanding sugar that I already had. It made a bit of a mess, but I brushed away the excess. But it's totally fine if you leave it there because it's going to be covered with buttercream anyway. For the reins, I'm using tip 12 in purple, piping as even a line as possible. Then I ran my palette knife under hot water to heat it up and used it to smooth out the purple frosting. Now for this part, you can leave it as is with the buttercream, or you can choose to enhance it with purple sanding sugar like I did here. And again, this does make a bit of a mess, but it's totally fine. It's going to be covered with buttercream, or you can just wipe it away. To finish off some of the details, I'm adding the lashes and eyelid to the horse, but keep in mind that we'll have to touch it up later on after we've applied the white frosting. And I'm also adding some of the outlines now too, but again, we'll just touch it up later on. We'll just use it as a guide. And the outlines are done in pink buttercream with the tip 3. And now we can begin to fill in the horse's face with tip 32 in white by just creating little stars all over, leaving the area where we'll create the horse's mane unfrosted. This part of the process is definitely the longest, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Your hand might hurt because mine did. Just be sure to take breaks as you need to. The face is all done now, so now I'll just grab the pink piping bag with tip 3 and touch up the outlines one more time. Moving on to the horse's mane. I'm starting by using the tip 1M and creating a few rosettes. I thought that would add a little extra fanciness to the mane, but you can choose to just create lines and drag it down to make the hair. With tip 32 in pink, I'm dragging lines of frosting throughout to create a wispy, flowy mane, and be as creative with this part as you'd like. I used about 4 cups or 1 batch of American Buttercream for this cake, and just about half of it I colored in pink because this is the color that we use the most. By this point, you can start to see the horse come together beautifully. And using the guide that Wilton provides on their website was super helpful, so I definitely recommend using it if you plan to make this cake. To finish it off, I'm adding some pink sanding sugar and some cute Valentine's themed sprinkles from Wilton. They happen to be the perfect color for this cake, so they were a great addition. This is the first time I've ever made a novelty cake like this, and I'm super happy with how it came out. Definitely tag me if you end up making it, and subscribe to my channel for more decorating videos like this.